practice?
Yeah, like I said, yesterday was a walkthrough, so I mean, I thought all the guys were dialed in, ready to go.
They're really big in their D-line. Just how challenging is it to run against those guys?
Yeah, they're massive, and they do a great job of staying square, playing blocks, tough to move. I think they're physical on the perimeter, on their edges. Obviously, their backers are very physical too, and you see it with their secondary. So it's one of the more physical defenses out there. I think they are a big-time challenge to run the football against.
Running game-wise, what did you do so well against Chicago? Emmanuel had a series of pretty effective runs.
Yeah, I thought our guys were, coming off the ball. That's where it always starts, and trying to get everybody, on their landmarks, on their aiming points, and the backs got to press those blocks and read it one gap at a time, and that's what we were doing.
And I know the other day you said the protocol, obviously there's steps to it, it takes a few days. Do you know, at what point you will know, or could it go right up till game day?
I would anticipate knowing prior to game day, but who knows? I mean, I really don't know. So to answer your question, I'm going to retract what I said and say that, especially when you're talking about, I don't even like to say the C word, but
why are you looking at me?
but it's just a very delicate issue. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, we've seen it with certain guys. They come in, they feel great one day, and then the next day they don't. So it kind of is a little bit of a moving target.
When you were talking about Malik's footwork yesterday, what exactly needed refinement when he first got here, and how much better is it now?
I would just say the consistency at which and the rhythm and the timing, and I just really dialing in on. Now everybody teaches quarterback footwork a little bit differently, and I'm not saying that ours is better than others by any stretch, but I just think whatever you believe in, and I do think every quarterback's unique to themselves, and you got to try to find what works best for each individual. However, it still has to fit within the framework of the timing of the play. So I would say that we are a little bit open-minded in regards to not necessarily having everybody be uniform at that position. Now, it's great if they are, and our guys right now are, but we've coached a lot of different guys a lot of different ways. So, but I just think the consistency, understanding where his eyes need to be in relation to what his feet are telling him, I think he's put a ton of work in, just trying to stay a little bit more balanced when he's in the pocket, especially. One thing that you see is pretty common amongst many right-handed quarterbacks is they'll tend to, when they're throwing left, tend to get a little bit off balance, and that can have some accuracy issues along with that. And I think he's done a really good job in that regard of just staying in better body position, which leads to better balance, which leads to better accuracy.
Castles or Dabney have to help you at tight end this weekend. What have you seen from them since they've joined the team?
Yeah, both those guys I love the effort that they give out each and every day. I think it's a little bit, there's some unknown there. Certainly just the lack of reps, and then, it's different in live game, but I think both of those guys are prospects that they offer a little different flavor in regards to what I think their strengths are right now. But two guys that have come in have picked up the system pretty quickly, and JD and Connor do a great job with those guys in the tight end room.
Was the fourth down fumble, was that a jet sweep? And if it was, could you tell whether it was probably going to work or not from what you saw on tape?
Do you think it was a jet sweep?
Kinda.
Yeah. Did you think it was going to work?
I'm not sure if that defensive back coming up would have been a problem or not.
Yeah, it's a play we've ran quite a bit. He has an option on it, whether or not he wants to give it out or hand it off to the back. So
I imagine the chances of needing an emergency quarterback are very low this week, but I'm curious, from off-season program to training camp to in-season, do you ever even practice that scenario?
I would say pretty minimally. I mean, I think that's standard throughout the course of the, most teams I've been on. If you have to get to that situation, I mean, it's pretty dire, obviously. I mean, San Fran, I know in the playoff game was almost to that point, and then didn't Brock go back in or whatever, and couldn't really throw the ball. So, like, it's not a great situation to be in, but certainly you spend a little bit of time just working through the mechanics of that, because it's not like you're just going to go out there and play defense the whole game. So you're going to try to move the football, but it's less than an ideal situation.
How do you decide when all else fails, like that's going to be the guy that we throw behind center?
A lot of it's just based on guys, what they've done in their past, I would say. Some of these guys that we have been high school quarterbacks, have dabbled with some Wildcat stuff. So there are some options there. We've got multiple guys that have had that in their past.
Will you guys elevate Clayton even if you have both Jordan and Malik, or do you not think you'd need it if you have them both?
Well, potentially. But the only way you can do that, to my understanding, is he's got to be on the 53.
Matt, Musgrave's first couple of years were obviously pretty choppy, and then he wasn't playing a ton early this season. Have you seen him kind of find his footing here in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job. He's made a lot of explosive plays, and then there's a couple that, that were just near huge plays. But yeah, I think he has. I think he's getting into a rhythm. I think he's really evolved, in my opinion, as a route runner. And he's a legitimate threat because he's just so big and fast. So as long as we put him in the right positions, I think, he's been playing really good football.
Did you get to see Micah today? Is he back in the building?
From my understanding, he'll be here this evening.
We talk about corners all the time having to have a short memory. You've known Keyshawn for a while now. How do you think he bounces back from the way Saturday night played out?
He's as tough as they come. He's a resilient dude. He's a competitive dude, and I mean that's life in the National Football League. There's going to be some good and some moments that you'd like to have back, but it is what it is. And I know one thing you can always count on from Keyshawn, he's going to go compete.
How do you handle a guy like Hamlin who kind of lines up everywhere? I'm not asking for your game plan against him, but I mean, he's obviously a guy who can line up here and there.
Yeah, he does a good job. I mean, he's safety, nickel, dime, blitzes, like in the A gaps. He's all over the place. He's an animal. I just know when we practiced against him a couple years ago, or last year, I should say. I was really impressed. It was the first real exposure I've had to him. You can tell he's super aware, a really smart player, and then he's so big and moves so darn well that he's a real problem. He is a problem. He's, I think, a big reason. Their defenses. I know it didn't start off that great, but it's been pretty solid the last half of the season. So, and he's a big part of that.
It's a weird week with the quarterback situations on both sides. I know you said that you won't know for sure with Jordan until later in the week, and yesterday you said that the Ravens run their stuff no matter who, but in terms of planning right now, how good is your sense on what's going to be out there for both sides?
I would say not good, but you just deal with it.
Is that kind of a rare scenario for you? Is that unusual?
I think so, yeah. But it's a situation, so you just prepare the best you can and try to lay out a great plan for whoever's out there and go play.
2 more, please. What does Christmas Eve and Christmas look like for the ball coach?
What day is it in my world?
Exactly. Christmas is Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Yes.
It's Thursday. It looks like a normal Thursday. Now tomorrow we'll have a different schedule tomorrow. Allow the guys, especially the guys, I would say is probably more for our staff members that have young children. We give them the morning to spend time with their families. And then we'll bring the guys in, I think 11 o'clock is when we're gonna start our meetings. And we'll have a condensed day, but we're still gonna go out and practice. So if you'd like to come in tomorrow, we'd love to have you. I'd love to see you guys.
What time?
I don't know, you gotta get that from Walters. You will be? All right. So we're still gonna do that. We're still gonna treat it like a Friday. Like I said, it's modified, but I think it's important for really all these guys. I'm sure a lot of our players and have family in town, and to spend some quality time with their family is a good thing.
Do you
How about you?
I'm sure we'll be getting up early in my house and opening presents, and about the minute we're done doing that, we'll be back at the office. So I don't think my wife thought I was a good boy this year, so I don't think she got me anything. I was on the naughty list.
A lot of parents like give their kids like, don't get up before this time on Christmas. Do you actually wake up your children to get to the office early on Christmas?
No.
They get you up?
I will say that the older they get, and you guys know, I mean, they're less excited, I would say, about getting up early.
It's a good blessing.
Yeah, I guess so. Happy holidays, everybody.